Diddy shows no signs of life attacker strikes with bold precision, leaving Hollywood shocked. On the morning of November 4th, a confrontation occurred at the MDC Brooklyn Detention Center, leaving one inmate critically injured. There's usually nothing noteworthy about fights being a daily occurrence in this prison, but this time is different. The one being rushed to the hospital in critical condition is none other than Sean Diddy comes currently, the most talked about inmate since being detained at MDC Brooklyn. Diddy lawyers have consistently sounded the alarm about his safety, fearing he could be harmed by other inmates, given the prison's notorious reputation for chaos. Due to the high-profile nature of his case, Diddy was placed in a separate area from the general population. TMZ previously reported that he was in the Special Housing Unit SHU with former MDC Brooklyn warden Cameron Lindsay, explaining this as a precaution to shield him from potential threats within the facility. Life in the SHU was a stark adjustment for Diddy, accustomed as he was to a life of luxury. His days followed a strict routine, beginning with a 6 a.m. wake-up call. He had to make his bed, clean his cell, and mop the floors daily. Recreation time was limited to just 1 hour a day, and he was permitted to shower only 3 times a week. Diddy's meals, totaling 1,800 calories a day, were pre-packaged and kept in tightly monitored warming boxes before delivery. This meant the food might not always be fresh, but it reduced the risk of poisoning. Despite these precautions, loopholes remained, and the unthinkable eventually occurred, leaving everyone stunned. Every 3 days in the SHU, Diddy was allowed to visit the commissary to purchase small essentials like candy, coffee, and clothing. It was during one of these times that the incident took place, according to an inmate known for selling contraband. A tall, heavy-set man attacked Diddy as he approached the commissary. A leaked video reportedly shows medical personnel attempting to revive Diddy, who appears unconscious and shows no signs of life, with the medical staff visibly distraught. Although some cling to hope for his recovery, others speculate he may not survive. The revelation of an attack on Diddy has left many shocked. Comments on social media capture the mixed reactions. "I don't think Diddy deserves any sympathy, but I wanted him to face legal justice, not go out like this." Another asked, "He had 24/7 protection. Where were the gods?" Yet others were less surprised, with one saying, "Warnings have been given." However, many were unsurprised by Diddy's attack, as warnings had already been given. A guest who attended one of Diddy's infamous parties shared her experiences and claimed that the rapper has many enemies and was bound to face threats in prison. Renowned photographer Selma Fona, who was invited to the rapper's gathering, stated someone could harm him. "He has a lot of enemies." Selma said he's nice, but not very open. That's why he always wears sunglasses. She also mentioned that once, after photographing Diddy with a woman, his bodyguards confiscated her camera. And at his parties, there were always beautiful girls in bikinis, women swimming without clothes. It was just the norm, Selma recalled, adding that security was very tight. Some models she photographed revealed that Diddy constantly feared an attack, even at his private residence, because of the enemies he had made. His imprisonment posed a severe risk since he knew there were people inside waiting for it. Meanwhile, Suge Knight expressed concerns that someone might target Diddy in prison. For recognition, Knight and Diddy have been rivals since the 90s, when record labels Death Row and Bad Boy clashed for dominance in rap music, leading to tragic incidents involving both Tack and the notorious B. Knight, who is currently serving a 28-year sentence in California for voluntary manslaughter, joined Chris Cuomo on News Nation to discuss Diddy's arrest. SUJ began the conversation with a disclaimer stating that he doesn't jump up and cheer for any black man or anyone else to go to jail. However, he acknowledged that Diddy might struggle behind bars due to his fame. "I mean, one of the things is, I don't care who you are. Prison is a tough place." Knight Noted if someone sees a chance to make a name for themselves by harming him, they might do it or they might feel they need to prove themselves, he added. But we all have to learn. We have to learn from our mistakes. Everything isn't always a mistake. It's about bettering yourself, but we all know what we signed up for in life. Cuomo also asked Knight if he believed that he was in danger and if he had any advice for him. I wouldn't say he's in danger, and you shouldn't either, Knight advised, because the moment they think he's at risk of self-harm, you lose all rights. No socks, no underwear, no t-shirt, no blanket, no sheets. You're left alone in your cell like a madman, and he certainly wouldn't want that. Sweet commented a woman whose husband lost his life to violence. Diddy has supported throughout their careers would likely face a significant loss, both emotionally and in terms of career guidance. Second, Diddy's death in prison could raise questions about security and fairness within the justice system. If a high-profile and influential figure like Diddy can be assassinated while incarcerated, it would generate concerns about living conditions and safety for other inmates. Advocacy groups for criminal justice, reform, and social activists might demand investigations and reforms to ensure the safety of all prisoners. This issue could become a focal point of public interest, drawing attention to the realities of prison violence and the injustices within the legal system. Additionally, if Diddy were to die as a result of an assassination, the investigation into the cause of death would likely face significant challenges and could be prolonged should there be evidence suggesting intentional harm. Public demand for transparency in the investigation and prosecution would intensify the case, might stir suspicions, conspiracy theories, and debates regarding the motives behind the assassination, especially given Diddy's powerful status and potential complex relationships within the business and political realms. This would lead to increased media and social media focus on the incident, generating waves of discussion across various platforms. Ultimately, Diddy's death could have significant financial implications for his family and the businesses he oversees as a successful entrepreneur. With ownership of several major brands in fashion, spirits, and entertainment, his passing could disrupt these enterprises and impact thousands of workers. His family and heirs may face legal and financial challenges in managing and continuing the operations of the assets and brands he leaves behind. Of course, if the allegations prove true, Diddy's crimes would be difficult to forgive. However, many might still lament the loss of an outstanding star who, after all, once captured the hearts of hundreds of millions for decades. Sean Diddy Combs has been a pivotal figure in the music moose industry, shaping the sound of a generation and building an empire that extends far beyond music. From his early days as a producer at Uptown Records to founding Bad Boy Entertainment, Diddy has become synonymous with innovation and success. He helped launch the careers of legends like the notorious Big Mary J. Gig and Faith Evans. His empire spans music, fashion, television, and even spirits brands. However, as his fame wanes, many are beginning to question whether his decline is part of a larger pattern within the industry, one where powerful players use influential figures as pawns, only to dispose of them when the time is right. Names like Clive Davis loom large in this conversation, suggesting that there may be more lurking behind the scenes than meets the eye. Shaw Combs began his career in the early 90s at Uptown Records under the guidance of industry veterans like Andre Harrell. His keen eye for talent and understanding of culture quickly propelled him to prominence in 1993. After leaving Uptown, he found Bad Boy Entertainment, one of the most successful hip-hop and R&B record labels in history. The success of artists like the notorious Big solidified Diddy's status as a cultural and commercial force. His production skills, branding strategies, and business acumen helped him become a millionaire and a key player in shaping the sound of urban music. However, like many influential figures, Diddy's career has not been without controversy, from legal battles and public disagreements with former artists to rumors of unethical business PR practices. Diddy's empire has often been under scrutiny. Despite these challenges, he continued to wield significant power, often regarded as untouchable, until recently cracks in Diddy's public image began to widen in the 2000s and 10s. Although whispers of questionable behavior had persisted for years, in recent times, accusations have surfaced regarding his treatment of artists' staff and past personal relationships. Some former associates have alleged that he manipulated and exploited them, claiming that Diddy's business dealings were more predatory than supportive. These claims have tarnished his image, but the real turning point came when new allegations of abuse and financial mismanagement emerged, leading to investigations that have harmed his public reputation. Diddy's reputation in the business world was also impacted with reports emerging about questionable financial dealings. Contracts with bad boy entertainment artists were often labeled unfair, with some former artists claiming they were underpaid and manipulated into unfavorable deals. This financial fall, combined with personal scandals, made it challenging for Diddy to maintain his untouchable status as Diddy's empire began to waver. The question arose: was Diddy the mastermind of his own downfall, or was his fate determined by powerful individuals who had once benefited from his success?